All right, welcome back to the Supreme Black Podcast. So just to follow up with the video that I had earlier, hopefully you all have been able to check out the Kanye West and Tucker Carlson interview. Now, I won't cover everything. The full interview is out there. It's like 45 minutes if you take out the ads. I had seen it on YouTube, right? One of the key things, I know a lot of people, they see it and they're gonna be like, okay, this is just Kanye being Kanye. Yeah, he did mention it. If it, you know, that it's actually Fashion Week, so of course he's gonna do what he needs to do to get into the media, have his face out there. But amongst me actually listening to the interview, I found that he had actually dropped a few gems. Now, I'm not saying that Kanye is a genius. I do respect a lot of the things that he had mentioned within the interview. One of the key things is that it sounds like he's in a battle between his celebrity and his actual submission to God. And so regardless if you're religious, spiritual, you will see that there's a lot of things going on that are godless. And he states that within the interview a few times is that, you know, how they're pushing for abortion, that 50% of the Black death is from abortion, right? You don't hear or mention God in anything. Wow. A lot of people may think, okay, why is that important? When you think about a society that he feels that is detrimental, that's a key point, because regardless of how we look at it, especially if you're in the South, you were raised up on religious beliefs. Now, if you happen to venture off and be spiritual, I get that. I'm the same way. But I do think that he made a very key point in regards to that. So with him mentioning those things, that made me tune in even more. So now he had mentioned that the same people that had stripped us from our identity gave us an identity and a color, and we've considered their culture. Can't lie to you, that's real shit, because when you think about it, is if you see ignorance, you see aggressiveness, you see violence, you automatically associate that with culture. Prime example is how do they glorify hip hop, and what a lot of things have been brought up now is the violence rap, the over sexualization rap, etc. Right? So when you think about how that's pushed, he went into a whole spiel of from a liberal, conservative, you know, Democratic, Republican. I'm trying to keep that out of there because I know a lot of my crowd isn't really into the politics, but from a political stance, I got where he was coming from. Because if you see the latest song, it was Saucy something, but Trina was in the song, and it's no voting, no fucking. So basically what they're saying is if you ain't voting, you ain't having sex. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like what Spike Lee did in the movie Chi-Town, Chicago, whatever the name was, right? Or Chirac. That's where they're going with it. So if you think about, it's a video with two rappers, one of I think a man and a woman, Trina. You have to think that that's catering towards the Democratic Party. So if that's how they view us, then that's how you have to look at that. So if he's calling out silly shit like that, we have to be on board with understanding that there's a completely different agenda that they're pushing. Say, for instance, like Joe Biden saying, if you're not black if you didn't vote for me. Now, when you think about the people that are historians and have paid attention to what's going on in history, Joe Biden is a career politician. With that being said, he had a crime bill back in the 90s that incarcerated a lot of people. Yes, he's trying to right his wrongs now by trying to get people pardoned with simple possession of marijuana. I mean, that's damn near 30 years later. A lot of our uncles, older brothers maybe, were impacted by that actual crime bill, the super predator thing and all of that. So Kanye spoke on a lot of real stuff, and I hope y'all tapped into it. Another key thing for me was that when he spoke about how you can have influence, you have power, and he has quote unquote handlers, people that are wanting him to stay on script. Why is that important? He mentioned that he didn't mention any names, which I really wish he would have. There are particular entertainers that they have put in his circle that should keep him quiet and tell him to stay on script. Somebody that he had actually mentioned is his ex-wife. He talked about Kim's influence and how if he supported Trump, that would really look bad for her image because she has a very close knit with the Democratic Party, specifically the Clintons, right? So him coming out and endorsing Trump made everybody look crazy. To me, I'm just gonna be a realist. Back in the day growing up, you heard Bin Laden money, you heard Trump money. That's what people said in rap songs, the rap music. People loved him before he actually ran for president. Now, what he does as a personal person, business-wise, etc. Some people think he's a genius. Some people think he's a scam artist. Some people doesn't think that he has any character at all. That's neither here nor there. Kanye spoke on that, and I think that's very important. Is because now that he's not around those people, he is being deemed as crazy. Another example that we've seen is that was Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle walked away from a multi-million-dollar deal to stay making a Chappelle show, which they wanted to change the script, take him from actually just being a writer of the show, put him in a dress and allow somebody else to direct his show. He walked away. He went to Africa. He was called from crazy, bipolar, crackhead, etc. Now, we've seen Hollywood play this role before. Now, does Kanye ramble a lot and doesn't answer some of the questions directly? Absolutely. But he pivoted the question into something that he felt that was important. I have to agree with him on about 75% of the stuff that he actually answered. He's on point. Abortion is definitely something that we should be acknowledgeable of. Also, that these people, whether it's, I'm gonna say society, I'm not just gonna point directly at white people. If they've boxed us in to say that this is what black people should act like, speak like, dress like, then we've been boxed in. I'm sorry, that's not culture. Culture that we grew up on is not what we see today from a social media perspective, and it damn sure ain't what they show in the news, right? The handler's part of it, he's speaking out. People are going to call him crazy, but he made a lot of valid points. And we have to think about that is that what he's saying to me and what I got from it is that they, or the politicians, pander to us. They, like he spoke on the Ice Cube point, is that what are black people actually demanding from when they say vote? They want us to go out and vote, they get our votes, but then now what changes within our communities? Yes, I understand. To me, local voting is way more important than the president. But when you think about these people that push and they have these runs where doing everything, you have to understand that there's a completely different agenda that's going on. Man, that damn dog loud as hell, man. But yeah, this is real. So y'all see that there ain't no editing it out. That's just what's going on. It's a loud ass dog outside. But when he spoke about the Democratic Party pandering to us and not really doing anything with our vote besides taking it, that's real. And I have to say that I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm not Green, none of that. I'm just a free thinker, somebody that looks at things from a holistic point of view. I'm gonna give you both sides. I'm not gonna be biased. I think it was a great interview. I may follow up and do another one with this as well. But those are, two key points: the abortion part, how they have us boxed in, and the handlers that are been put around certain quote unquote influencers to keep them quiet and keep them on script. Let me know what you think if you've tapped into the video. Leave me some comments below if you think I'm way off, like, oh hell, you shouldn't be supporting Kanye. I'm a question the hell out of you of why you would think that I shouldn't support somebody that's actually freely speaking. I do believe that you can agree to disagree. I think that's something within our community that we should understand, because we can't get on one agenda, is because everybody has to think, breathe, eat the same for us to agree. But drop your comments in there. Drop your comments in there. As always, long live CC. I'm out.